Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Dethroning Your Inner Critic YouTube channel. So today I want to talk about the hidden secret to manifesting the next chapter of your life that most people don't know about. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Joanna Kleinman, licensed psychotherapist, best-selling author of the book, Dethroning Your Inner Critic, the 4-step journey from self-doubt to self-empowerment, the host of the Dethroning Your Inner Critic podcast, and I am a retreat leader, international speaker, and creator of the Mind Method and the Mastering Your Mind program and community. So many of you watching me right now might be feeling like you're a little trapped or you're called into something greater. And with that inner knowing, you've probably been experiencing some or maybe a lot of turmoil, maybe some chaos, maybe some inner struggle. So maybe a lot of fear, a lot of doubt, maybe some uncertainty about how your future is going to unfold, right? So maybe you're having a calling to leave an old career and to start something new. Or you have a calling to leave a relationship that is no longer in alignment with the life that you want to be living. Or maybe you have a desire for more growth or more joy or more fulfillment or just more aliveness, okay? Now you might be up to some big things in your life and you're wanting to step into your greatest potential, or maybe you're trying to fix or change something within yourself that keeps getting in the way of manifesting your next chapter. So here is the secret to really manifesting a life that surpasses anything that you could ever imagine. So the secret is that self-improvement is actually a big fat lie. Okay, now I know there is a multi-billion-dollar industry. There's books and seminars and programs based on principles of self-help and self-improvement. But self-improvement is not the path that will have you changing the trajectory of your life. Might give you some insights and awareness for sure, okay? But many people want to manifest whatever they believe will be the key to their highest fulfillment and joy, okay? So we have these ideal pictures in our minds about what we want our lives to be. And we keep visualizing this in our mind. And we believe that if we just keep improving ourselves, that's going to get us all that we want. But that's exactly what leads to the opposite, okay? It actually leads to more struggle and more fear, more worry, more uncertainty. Now let's talk about why is that? Because your automatic unconscious mind is actually the one who is attached to these ideal pictures about your future. Now, that automatic unconscious mind, I call that your inner critic mind. And very often, it's actually our deepest pain and insecurity that really lies at the root of why we actually want the things that we want. So when we're attached to getting what we want, that's when we get caught up in believing that we have to figure it all out and work everything out so that we can then feel good. And that's when we get caught spinning in the same familiar anxiety about how our life is going to unfold. And that's what causes us to overthink and to be stuck in doubt and to be stuck in fear. And that's when we forget to trust. So I created the mind method because I really do believe that the key to manifesting our greatest lives is actually about learning how to unhook ourselves from our automatic and unconscious mind. So when we don't know how to clearly see our unconscious mind, that's the mind that's governing 95% of our life. And that's why most people are looking to improve, because they're believing all of the lies that their unconscious mind is feeding them. They are believing that as the truth, and then thinking that in some way they are broken, they are not enough, they don't have what it takes. So we don't even need to know exactly where our insecurities came from, although you might have some idea, okay? But the mind method is not about getting stuck in the past and rehashing what's already dead, right? But what I do know is that at the root, my unconscious mind will continue to convince me that I'm not worthy of being who I came on this earth to be. My inner critic mind tries to convince me of that all the time. In fact, she's been trying to do that since I was a little girl. So no matter how good my life gets, no matter how much I manifest, my automatic unconscious mind will always find evidence to prove her old belief to be correct, that I'm not worthy of manifesting all that I want my life to be. So when I can so clearly see all of her thoughts and beliefs, it's actually the M step of the mind method, and I can feel all of the emotions and the body sensations that show up every time I'm caught in feeling unworthy, right? That's the I step of the mind method. Investigate the indication signs. That's when I can clearly recognize the familiar and never-ending messages of that automatic mind, my unconscious mind, that I've been carrying around since I've been a little girl, that I'm unworthy of all of this abundance. That's the N step of the mind method, to neutralize the never-ending message. So if I keep believing her, then even when I am manifesting, deep down, I feel like I'm unworthy of it all. Okay. Now, that is very important, because that's when I have to unhook myself from her. And that's when I'm my most free. And I can't describe to you what that feeling of freedom is like. It's like this warm, expansive energy in my heart, in my belly, right? It's like this warm, glowing light inside. I can literally feel my heart expanding, right? And my muscles relaxing. It's really quite wild, right? But I can only feel that when I am able to unhook myself from my unconscious automatic mind and put her right here on the palm of my hand and say, I see you, and I'm actually separate from you, right? Now, when I'm connected to that inner freedom, right, I can trust that all the parts of my life that feel unpleasant or uncomfortable and don't match my inner critic's ideal picture, that's really all part of the fertilizer for my next step of growth along my path. And it's the same for you. See, manifesting isn't just about figuring out how to get what we want. So when we can actually know how to flow with all of it, that's when we align ourselves with the expansive, flowing energy, even when our life doesn't match our automatic ideal picture. And when we use that energy to guide our life, that's when we're designing our most expansive life. That's the D step of the mind method, design your life. So when we forget to trust in that natural intelligence for our growth, that's really beyond anything we can ever figure out or know. When we forget to trust that, that's when we start spiraling into fear and stress and overwhelm and worry and overthinking. Now, this natural intelligence is the same force that turns the little acorn into the huge oak tree, but it's invisible. So we forget that it's there. And this is when we convince ourselves that we have to figure out the exact blueprint and strategy to get life to work out and for us to be okay. And this is the very thing that creates the opposite of what we want our lives to be. This is what creates your struggle, your overwhelm, your overthinking, your drama, and it stops you from actually enjoying the journey towards whatever you're building, whatever you're creating, and whatever you're designing in your life. So our only job is to align our thoughts and emotions with joy and satisfaction and fulfillment in who we already are. And looking at the parts of our life that we've already designed that we can feel really proud of. The more we can do that and unhook ourselves from the automatic thoughts that make us believe that we're not yet whole and we're not yet enough, the more we become powerful manifestors. Because we can be with all of life, not just the parts we like, right? That's not about improving ourselves. It's about doing the daily work of unhooking ourselves from our old identity that was formed by our unconscious mind, our inner critic mind. Because that's the old identity that continues to believe that we should keep focusing on worrying and having fear and all of the what ifs and all of the things that we don't want, and keeps us focused on that arrival point of getting the things we think are going to make us feel the way that we want to feel. So when you know how to trust all of your life, you stop resisting the points of instability in your life. Whether in our most important relationships, or maybe we have fears regarding the life projects that we're working on, like building or growing your business or finding a different path, we can remember that the instability we feel, it's just growing pains. If we can use even the most challenging experiences and emotions to bring our unconscious fears to a conscious level and see the root of those unconscious fears and unhook ourselves from those deep-seated core beliefs, that's exactly how we allow more love and light to infiltrate our lives. See, our instability is really actually a sign of growth. So tune into trusting the energy that has guided your life so far. The same energy that turns the acorn into the oak tree. Same natural intelligence for growth that's beyond our logic or reason or understanding, but literally shapes the world. We forget that it's there. That's when we suffer. If I don't practice the mind method, I'm trying to find a blueprint for how my life will unfold. I'm comparing myself to my ideal pictures. I'm even comparing myself to actual people and believing that I'm not as worthy as they are because of all they've accomplished. I keep spinning in the same drama that's kept me stuck for my whole life. But when I let go of trying to prove my worthiness, trying to improve myself, and I can unhook myself from the old identity that I used to believe was truly me, that's the only thing that has completely transformed my entire life. the practice of unhooking myself from my old identity. So, the hidden secret to manifesting is stop trying to improve yourself in your life. Stop believing that something that is unpleasant in your life is negative or a mistake. It isn't. Your unpleasant thoughts, your uncomfortable emotions, the beliefs that keep you stuck, those can actually serve as a powerful tool to show you the unconscious root cause that's been keeping you from manifesting all that you want your life to be. So remember that your instability is actually a sign of growth. That's when you'll be open to allowing more consciousness, more love, more light, more joy, more abundance to infiltrate all the parts of your life. So thanks for watching. And for more tools, tips, and inspiring videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.